Pasado na sa ikalawang pagbasa ng Kamara ang panukalang bumuo ng isang ahensyang tutulong sa mga pamilyang biktima ng bagyo o kalamidad.
Good day and welcome to Pros and Cons, where we ask the hard questions and you decide which side of the truth you would choose to believe.
In times of disasters, the government mobilizes its resources for rescue, relief, and rehabilitation, while the public does its share of work as volunteers. But what if civilians are compelled to render disaster and humanitarian service? This is the goal of Senate Bill 1129, a measure seeking the creation of a pool of able individuals who can render aid in emergency situations. The bill will require the mandatory service of professionals such as doctors, nurses, and engineers in the aftermath of calamities and disasters. Today, in Pros and Cons, we raise the question: should Filipinos be obliged to serve during disasters? Does mandatory service have perks as compared to volunteerism? Can Filipinos be made to agree with doing mandatory service?
I'm Undersecretary Joel Sy Egco, your moderator for the day. We've heard in the news about the series of earthquakes in Mindanao. Disasters such as these require a pool of able responders from the government and other stakeholders. Now, what if civilians are conscripted into serving during disaster operations? Will Filipinos be inspired to help, or will it be treated as a burden for them? No? So, yun po mga kababayan, mga katanungan yan ay sasagutin po ng ang dalawang gentlemen na kasama po natin dito sa ating programa ngayon. Unahin ko na pakilala ang comebacking po ito eh. So, pwede nang sabihin, veteran din to na, no? Para si General Arevalo ito eh. No? So, guest po uli natin sa ating programa, si Brigadier General Ernesto Torres. Siya po ang commander ng Civil Relations Service ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Sir June, kumusta? And welcome back to Pros and Cons.
Mabuti naman. Thank you for having me here.
Anytime.
Glad to be back. At least, mabibigyan na lang kami ng pagkakataon to air our views on different issues that you're
Correct. Kasi hindi lang ito, pag disaster, hindi lang naman ang inaasahan talaga natin ay AFP, no? Kita natin, mga pulis, mga sundalo, talagang tumutulong. So this time, merong panukala kasi na I think this bill was filed by Senator Tolentino,
yes,
no?
yes,
SB 1129, if I'm not mistaken,
yes.
Na kailangan daw i-conscript, no, yung ating mga professionals and other private individuals. So I'm sure marami ka pong ma-share dito. And to join us, General, no, kasama rin po natin sa ating programa si Mr. Mark Timbal. Siya po ang spokesperson ng National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. Yun, lagi ako na kakamali. So, Sir Mark, welcome to Pros and Cons.
Thank you, sir.
And kumusta naman? Di ba? Grabe yung...
Apo, marami pong ganap ngayong panahon na ito. May lindol, may bagyo pa. Magkasunod po ang ating
kaya hindi ba pwedeng sabihin na, stop! Para matuloy.
Kung pwede nga lang po, hindi nauna na kami sa India.
No offense meant, ha? Kaibigan ko rin po. So, yan medyo light-hearted ang natin, discussion ngayon, despite those unfortunate tragedies. At dito nga, pag-uusapan nating tatlo, yung panukala na ito. Nakarating na ba sa inyo yan, conscription?
Opo, narinig po namin itong parang, we initially thought that this will be a volunteering thing, sir. Pero conscripted, mandatory.
Yes,
mandatory.
Yeah, when you say conscription kasi it's a mandatory service. But as opposed to common belief nga, nasabi nila military lang to, there are two possibilities now when you get conscripted. Either you work with the military or with the civil service. So may option.
So optional naman pala siya, military or civil service. Anyway, lalaliman po natin, sir, and Mark, ating discussion about yan sa conscription na yan. Ano ba ibig sabihin yan? Si Usec Egco ba pwedeng maging conscript pagdating dyan? No? So, we'll return after the break. We're going to discuss more about this topic. So, pros and cons, we'll be right back.
이상 모두를 리프로깅이 아직 스타트되었습니다.
We're back on pros and cons, and today we are discussing Senate Bill 1129, or what we call the Civil Conscription Act. Uy, parang alien yung pandinig ko dito, civil conscription. No? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng civil conscription? But before that, tanungin po muna natin ang spokesperson ng NDRRMC kung sufficiente ba ang ating response mechanisms pagka nagkakaroon pa ng disasters katulad ng nangyari ng earthquakes. So Mark, anong masabi mo?
Well, sir,
Is it sufficient?
Itong case natin, for example, sa earthquake, sufficient po ang ating government strength dito. Kita po natin kasi dito sa Philippine disaster management system natin, whole of nation approach tayo, whole of government, whole of society.
Yes.
So, ang government complement natin sa mga disaster managers, across the board, from the national to the barangay level, we have disaster managers. Yung ating mga responders naman come from all government agencies that provide response services, kagaya ng uniform services natin. We also have DSWD, we have civil society partners too. Kasama din po yung Red Cross dyan. And they all provide responses. Lahat ng local government units, they have response units as well. At ito, kitang-kita dito, lalo na yung capability ng mga local governments sa upper class na city and municipalities. And they really invest on disaster management.
I see. So, meron namang role yung mga civil society groups, no? Ito mga
Totoo po
civilians
yan.
ito eh. Di ba? But what makes this bill different? Ano ba yung parang mandatory ito? Pipiliin?
Yes po, opo.
Paano ba ang proseso na pinopropose dito na piliin kita? Mag-conscript ka, mandatory yan, wala kang magagawa.
Opo, mandatory yung nilagay ni Senator Tolentino dito. Although we really, ito po kasing si Senator Tolentino, he's a very staunch disaster advocate.
Dati siyang
Opo,
MMDA,
correct
no?
po kayo dyan. And what we appreciate this effort kasi kagaya naman po in disaster management, sometimes the numbers speak.
Yes.
Kapag marami tayong responders, marami tayong matutulungan. Pero what we want to ensure in NDRRMC is kung meron tayong responders, dapat yung mga capable talaga. Those who will assist in the disaster management effort should really be aware kung
What
ano
if
talagang papel
victims
nila.
din sila? Can we compel them, no? Kung halimbawa, yung family nila ay, di ba?
Totoo po kayo.
Nasa lanta rin. So, teka, unahin ko muna yung...
Yan po yung isa dun sa mga items na dapat talaga linawin dito sa batas na ito.
I see.
Kasi ang minention po ng bill na yan is professionals like engineers and doctors pwedeng tawagin ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines to serve in case of mega disasters. I would put it as mega disasters. Kasi yung localized disasters natin or localized emergencies natin, pasok na pasok sa kakayahan ng pamahalaan. Kaya
I see.
wala pong
So, itong
necessity.
proposal na ito is for sasabi, mega disaster. No, wag naman sanang mangyari. Di ba? Sana hindi natin kailanganin yan.
Ang perspective kasi nito, sir, ang tingin ko Yolanda din eh. Kasi the Yolanda
okay.
emergency was very unique dahil napakarami, widespread,
Yes,
at ang tindi nung impact ni Yolanda.
And we learned a lot from
That is
that
true.
experience.
Opo.
No? Siguro, kaya pinropose din ito ni Senator Tolentino, ay yun nga, no, ang dami nating natutunan. So, nabanggit, General, yung role ng AFP dito. At according to Mark, ay DND or AFP ang in charge dito sa conscription na ito. Okay lang ba sa inyo yun?
Well, base dun sa nabasa ko na, na draft ng Senate Bill 1129, ay yung nga mandated ang Department of National Defense through the AFP and the Professional Regulatory
PRC.
Commission.
Okay.
Dahil ang target na i-conscript dito ay mga structural engineers, siguro dahil at least
Yes, kung may gumuho,
Earthquake assessment.
Oo. And pangalawa ay licensed professional doctors or medical personnel.
Okay.
Yun po yung tutok talaga doon. But I would like to inform everybody that this is really a welcome development for us in the Armed Forces of the Philippines. because it will strengthen our capability, no? Well, pag meron pong mga disasters. Dahil we have troops all over the country, we dedicated actually one company in every battalion of the AFP as a disaster responder pag may nangyari. So nag-shift ka agad yan from operations to disaster operations.
From Armalite yung dala, nagiging pala.
So now,
Diba ganun? Usually, nakita ko, from combat boots, nagiging bota. I mean, diba?
and it will be a big help kung meron tayong mga skilled professionals to really help us out. And nakita ko rin, legally, it is allowed by our Constitution na ibalik yung conscript.
Okay.
Nangyari na yan sometime in the history of the Philippines. Nangyari na yung conscription. Panahon pa ng Spanish era actually. Nag-conscript na locally and the foreign campaigns ng mga Spanish.
Siguro isang concern dyan, pag sinabing conscription, hindi ba to yung gagamitin sa gera, baka armas ang bigay, something like that?
I think Usec that is...
It's still too early to say, no? Kasi bata pa lang yung bill.
Yun nga, dalawang, when you say conscription, pwede ngang military service or civil service. But I'm just not so sure if the bill intends to recruit only professionals for military service, or kung ayaw mo military service, will they allow to let civilians serve in other capacities then? So hindi ko po masyadong sigurado yun.
Although this is mandatory. What if ayaw niya? Paano kaya? If you studied the bill already, ano yung proposal niya na can be, di ba, parang for somebody, oy, ikaw, doktor ka, wala kang magagawa, hindi ka makatanggi, i-conscript ka namin. Is that how it goes, or?
Well, currently po sa system natin, ang nangyayari is pag may major operations po, we welcome kung may mga associations ng doctors who would want to help on the ground.
I see.
Kagaya po dun sa ating relief operations sa Makilala, currently yung earthquake operations natin, may mga volunteer doctors tayo doon from the community. Sa batas po, sa proposal kasi na ito, sa Senate bill, mini-mention talaga professionals eh. So, ang nakita po namin dito ay ang gusto ata ng ating senador, magkaroon ng mas malaking kontribusyon ang lipunan pag may effort na ganito. Sa NDRMC naman po kasi, what we really want is kung tutulong ka, you add value to the effort. Hindi yung parang basta masabi lang na tumulong.
Dahil pinilit ka lang na ano. So, which is better? Do you think, which is better between the two? Is it volunteerism or conscription?
Well, either way, it works for the Philippine DRM system, sir. Pero ang nakikita kasi namin dito, in NDRMC, we don't want na manganib yung buhay ng mga responders natin, etc. So, if this bill proceeds, gusto namin na merong part of the IRR is may protection clauses din itong mga
hindi basta kung sino-sino lang. Mga terorista yung di ba?
Tama rin
di
kayo
ba?
dyan,
Gusto kong mag-ano, nung pala merong hindi magandang.
At saka po yung conscription, hindi po yung para siguro national conscription bigla na huhugutin mo sa kung saan-saan. I think it would be wise kung yung near the area or the unaffected area kahuhugot ng mga professionals to do the assistance.
Yes, that's right. Yun nga, General, ano? Saan kukunin ito? Kung yung affected area, sila nga mismo nasalanta, di ba? So, I think to sa labas.
Sa labas.
Conscripted ka, tulungan mo yung tumulong tayo dito sa, which I think marami tayong kababayan na nagvo-volunteer ng gano'n.
In other countries, mandatory yung registration.
Okay.
Like, for example, in the United States, they don't have conscription per se at the moment, but they require all able-bodied men to register 18 to 25 years old. Everybody. So that when they have to be mobilized, let's say, sabi mo nga, in province A, mayroon kang registered possible conscript in province B adjacent to province A. So you can easily mobilize this one to help out province A.
Yung mga distressed.
So that can be there. Siguro magiging part ng IRR yan when we craft it, should the bill be finally approved.
I see. And how is this going to help in our present efforts, no? Ang present system ng NDRRMC, does it sit well with people in the agency?
Ang attitude po kasi namin kapag may mga batas patungkol sa disaster, welcome kami. Kasi ito po ay makakadagdag ng tulong para sa ating pagkilos. Lalo na po, for example, in the current emergency situation sa Makilala, collapsed buildings, damaged structures, we really need the sufficient complement of engineers, structural engineers, para makita yung status ng mga buildings. We have to admit, in DPWH, ilan lang ating mga local engineering staff doon. So, may partnership si NDRMC with engineering associations, engineer professional associations. But we're reviewing it kasi baka napaso na, kasi matagal na yung yung partnership na yon. With the conscription law, if it becomes a law, if it becomes a law, we don't need to review any of these partnerships kasi mandatory na pag kailangan ng gobyerno, kumilos kayo.
Mobilize ka agad. All right. Anyway, so let's take a short break muna, and when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion on this proposed law, no? Yung conscription bill, tawag natin dyan. So pros and cons, we'll be right back.
Philippines will continue to find common cause and purpose with the Republic of Korea towards enhancing our bilateral engagement and promoting peace and stability in the region.
The elevation of our relations will pave the way for our two countries to engage in greater cooperation that will lead us to common prosperity. The Korean people love the Philippines. Koreans are the #1 visitors to the Philippines, while our bilateral trade volume surpassed the $15 billion mark for the first time last year. The Philippines is the future of ASEAN as it continues to achieve an impressive growth rate of 6% each year, thanks to your outstanding leadership.
Past 7 years, decades have witnessed the level of our interactive rights. Our cooperation encompasses various spheres, from trade, investment, and order, to infrastructure development, defense, science, technology, and agriculture.
You're still watching Pros and Cons. Before we proceed with our discussion, let's see what netizens, our kababayans on social media, are saying about our topic. Kung okay ba sa kanila yung idea ng conscription na yan, or not, or mandatory service during disasters. So mga sir, meron tayo, katulad din ng dati, may poll question po tayo sa PNA website. At ang tanong ay, sang-ayon ba kayo na obligahin ang mga sibilyan at profesional na tumulong sa pagresponde sa mga kalamidad? Are you in favor of civilians and professionals rendering mandatory humanitarian services in times of disasters and calamities? Ang resulta po ng voting ay 85% sinasabing okay. At yung 15 sinasabi pong hindi, 15%. So let me read a couple of comments from our followers. Unahin na natin itong kay Ma'am Linda Vitaliano. Sabi niya, why the civilian? Why not our congressmen and senator? Sabi niya, they are our servant. We pay their salary, so they are the ones who should do the job. Even there are in Congress and in the Senate, their job is to serve Filipinos. Ayun, Ma'am Linda, ito nga po yung proposal ng isang senador natin. Sama ko na rin itong kay Edwin Rosas. Sabi niya, as long as there is regulated laws, about it, para organize that syempre may mga posibleng pamilyado din ang re-respond sa calamity, sabi niya. And then itong basahin natin kay Elmer Labor, sabi niya, obligasyon talaga nating tumulong sa ating kapwa, lalo na sa panahon ng kalamidad. That's what normal people do. Uy, ganda yun. Normal people, they help each other. So kung gano'n ang pananaw, no, ng mga kababayan natin, bakit kailangan pang i-conscript? Diba, sir? What can you say about it? No?
Actually, maraming advantages ang pagko-conscript. No? But let me be clear about it. No? When you say conscription, again, it is either military service or civil service. Pwede yun. One thing good about conscription is that nagkakaroon tayo ng common purpose. No? Kunyari may disaster, conscripted yung ibang civilians, in-touch sa military and the RMC, pare-pareho yung purpose to help those who are affected by the disaster. In so doing, yung national patriotism natin ay nag-i-improve, nai-strengthen.
People are parang they tend to help each other, no?
Yes, nagkakaroon ng common purpose in accomplishing a common goal.
Yes.
Sa individual naman, nagkakaroon ng opportunity to learn a lot of things. Leadership,
Yes.
how to perform well during such calamities. So there are a lot of positive
And
things aside
it
from
fosters, di ba, parang, yun nga, camaraderie,
unity,
no?
love of country, malasakit
Sa
sa kapwa Pilipino.
Na yan ay medyo nawawala na po, lalo na sa FB, dami nag-aaway, walang malasakit. Pero pag may disaster, nakikita mo ang Pilipinas sa mga Pilipino.
Tulong-tulong talaga.
Mga memes lang di ba? Let's pray for ganito, let's pray for ganyan. So,
and we can dictate,
natural sa atin.
Usec, if I may just add, we can dictate kung for how long they'll be conscripted. Nung panahon po ng Commonwealth natin, they were just conscripted for 5 and a half.
5.5
Yeah, 5.5 months. Not even a year. So sandali lang po ito.
May gawin man siya o wala, basta naka-standby ganon.
Oh well, they will be trained, they will be given tasks, yes. But we will ensure na they're capacitated also to do what tasks are given to them.
Alright.
So yun po yung ganda nun.
Yes. Mark, do you think it would work? Kasi alam mo naman, sabi nga ng mga nag-comment sa atin, no? Likas naman sa atin yan. Pero huwag mo akong didiktahan. May mga ganong ugali. You cannot force me. But I'm going to help you. So, do you think...
Sa NDRMC po, ito talaga maipagyayabang ko na talagang kitang-kita po nito sa bawat disaster yung bayanihan spirit ng Pilipino. Minsan kasi hindi pa humihingi ang gobyerno ng ayuda sa mga kababayan natin Tumatawag na to make donations.
Exactly, that's
Pwede ba
right.
kaming pumunta doon to provide assistance, etc. Kaya po wala tayong problema when it comes to receiving help from our society. Kasi nga po ang ating disaster management system ay holistic. Lahat po ng miyembro ng sosyedad ay may kontribusyon. At kung mas mas mapapahusay pa yung ating DRRM system, okay po kami dyan. Yung nakikita po namin dito nga kagaya po ng binanggit ni General Torres, what we're seeing here is kapag nag-conscription, hindi naman aabot ng 5 buwan, sir. Yun ang kinaganda doon. Kasi ang emergency operations natin, lalo na kung response operations, araw lang ang binibilang. So, magbibigay suporta itong mga professionals na ito for just what? Matter of weeks. Pag natapos po ang response operations natin, everyone goes home. Ang mangyayari po nito is, kapag meron pong sistema tayo dito, ang NDRMC ay makakapagsabi sa Secretary of National Defense, Sir, we need doctors. So, syempre, ang gaganon ni SND na, AFP, we need doctors. Proceed with the conscription of doctors. Alam natin na yung mga pupunta doon to provide assistance, yung kailangan talaga ng community, yung kailangan doon sa...
This is mandatory conscription.
Yeah.
Paano meron ba itong tawag dito? Subsidy man lang? What should they get in return?
Yeah. In other countries, in all countries for that matter, nagbibigay sila ng allowances. But it is
incentives,
not incentives. Hindi siya comparable dun sa regular wage nila. Mas mababa naman doon. Because this is just a temporary service.
Correct.
Dito naman, kung titignan mo yung budget natin, well, sa atin ang budget, kung defense budget ang pag-uusapan, tayong one of the, in terms of percentage na sa GDP, we are one of the lowest, 1.2.
That's true. Matagal ng problema yan. Matagal ng problema.
So if we can just raise that to 2%, as in most countries, I think we can afford to to fund the conscription.
At actually po, kahit hindi
Yes.
sa defense budget yan, we have the National DRRM Fund. So, pwede po mapondohan din dyan ang ating mga incentives for our conscripts. Ang hirap gamitin
So walang
volunteer.
problema when it comes to resources, no? Kung incentives ang kailangan, syempre, mamasahe rin yan, kailangan niya ng mga kagamitan, no? Na hindi naman lang pwedeng gamitin siguro yung personal na gamit nila for that purpose, or they may choose to do so also.
Ilagay dapat sa IRR yun. pag naging
So yun,
batas.
medyo mahaba pa siya no, sa
Correct
PID
po,
dahil
opo.
kaka-file lang nito. But pinag-uusapan lang po natin ngayon yan dahil hindi naman nawawala ng disasters.
Tama po kayo.
Every year, every now and then, no?
20 storms a year.
We are very disaster-prone
Country.
whether you like it or not, 20 storms. Tama ka.
More than 20,
Oo. I see. So do you see this being approved in the near future or medyo malayo pa ito?
Ang nakikita po kasi natin, marami ng effort tungkol sa involvement ng civilians and ng ating population sa disaster management. Nakikita po namin na itong proposal na ito, itong bill na ito ay magiging convergence point ng lahat ng mga proposal na yon para ma-involve ang ating mga mamamayan. Kasi may mga graduates tayo na ROTC, CAT, mayroong requirements tayo na nurses should serve the communities, doctors should serve the communities at a particular period. Pwede pong maging add-on yan sa lahat dito sa proposal na ito para mas ma-organize siya to provide assistance.
Alright. So
Siguro na nakatali pa rin siya sa yung proposal to create
yung new
a
department of disaster resilience. Alright.
It would support that.
So pwedeng pumasok ito doon,
Opo.
no, ma-incorporate. Anyway, so mahigsi po talaga ang ating oras, no, mga sirs. However, pagka may bagong development, wag naman sana magkaroon ng disaster, no, about the development dito sa bill po na ito. Imbitahan po namin ulit kayo sa darating ng panahon. So there you have it, folks. Straight from the shoulder and right on the money. But before we go, hingan po natin muli, no, tulad ng ginagawa naman natin dito ng final statement ang ating mga guest para po sa inyo, mga kababayan naming taga-subaybay at taga-panood. Unahin na po natin si Spokes Mark ng NDRRMC.
Opo, nagpapasalamat po kami at kami nabigyan ng opportunity dito po sa ating programa. At sa mga kababayan natin, palagi po kami nagpapasalamat sa NDRRMC kasi nakikita po namin araw-araw sa aming pagbabantay sa bayan patungkol dito sa mga hazards natin. Ang pagmamahal ng Pilipino sa kapwa niya, ang kabayanihan, ang bayanihan spirit. Gusto po sana namin na mas palakasin pa natin, mga kababayan, ang ating ganitong involvement sa ating komunidad. Lagi po tayong maghanda at makiisa po tayo sa lahat ng mga activities natin. Kasi lahat ito para sa kaligtasan po ng ating bayan. Kung kailangan po nating magbigay sa ating pamahalaan ng serbisyo, hindi po ito serbisyo sa pamahalaan, kundi serbisyo po ito para sa ating bayan, sa mga kababayan natin. Salamat po.
And like what I used to say ever since, no, we are all in this together.
Correct.
Di ba? Okay, General Jun Torres, ang mensahe naman po ninyo sa ating mga future conscripts, sa ating mga kababayan.
Muli maraming salamat Usec Joel for having me here. Yun na nga, geographically, ang Pilipinas sits in the Pacific Ring of Fire at hindi na po natin maiiwasan na ito po ay prone to disasters. Earthquake at tsunamis, no? Hindi na po natin maiiwasan yan. Kaya napakahalaga po na tayo ay magtulong-tulungan para ma-mitigate natin yung effects ng mga disaster na yan. Magkaroon tayo ng sistema kung paano tayo maka-recover o maprotektahan yung sarili natin at kababayan natin para hindi masyadong masaktan kung meron mga kalamidad. So, makakaasa ang NDRRMC at yung mga kababayan natin, conscript or without conscript, nandito po ang Armed Forces of the Philippines para tulungan kayo at makiisa para maibsan yung pong mga paghihirap ng mga kababayan natin tuwing sasapit ang mga sakuna.
Alright, thank you very much. Very well said, General Torres. And congratulations nga pala on your new assignment, CRS Commander. Tune in again next week as we discuss another hot topic. For your comments, suggestions, and questions, visit our Facebook page and the PNA website. You may be for or against. You may agree or disagree. In the end, we're all Filipinos working towards the same goals. Will you choose what's right? Or will you stay on your side of the truth? Once again, this is Philippine News Agency Supervising Undersecretary Joel Sy Egco. Thank you and see you on the next episode of Pros and Cons.